Subscribe to our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Click the bell button and enjoy the latest uploads from our channel.
Arithmetic is math. It's the most basic form of math. So with that being said, we'll cover addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, as well as modulus, increment, and decrement. Just to go over the basics, when we declare a variable that is an integer, which is a number, we can do math with them. For the sake of simplicity, we will cover addition only, and that's because subtraction, multiplication, and division are all written the exact same way, of course using a different sign. First we have addition. So let's look at our code here. We have my age is equal to 22 because it's a number. There are no spaces in it. There are no letters in it. We do not need to quote it. Then we have next year. We just wrote 1. And then a total. And this is where the arithmetic comes in. My age plus next year. So when we do this, total is going to equal 23. And when we try to write it in our document, we write next year I will be conjugated, total, conjugated, years old. And that will display, next year I will be 23 years old. Now I told you we're not going to go over subtraction, multiplication, or division. That's because if we want to subtract, we just change it to subtract. Multiply is the asterisk, and division is just a slash. Now let's look at modulus, increments, and decrements. Modulus, which is something that most people don't really know about until they start using JavaScript or some sort of computer programming language, is the remainder from a division. So remember when you were doing division in school and you had to get the remainder before you had to get the decimal? Well, that's what modulus is. It's the remainder. If we divide 10 by 3, we get 3.3 repeating. Modulus allows us to get 1 as the answer, because 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 remaining. And how we get the modulus is by using the percent sign. So first we have variable 10 is equal to 10, and then mod, and that's just short for modulus, is 10, which is our number here, percent sign, which is modulus, 3. And if we want to return the modulus, well, modulus is 1. So how this works is 3 goes into 10 3 times, so we have 3, 6, 9, and then it can't go into 10 again, because the next number is going to be 12. So up here, where it says 9, and we want it to go into 10, well, there's a remainder of 1. To be honest, I didn't find a use for modulus until I was writing JavaScript for at least a couple of years. It is definitely a good thing to know, and especially if you want to create patterns, for example, like a white row and then a gray row and a white row and a gray row and like a table of contents or something like that, then you can use modulus in your JavaScript to change the color of every second row. We're not going to get into that right now, but that's just an example of how it could be used. Next, let's look at increment. If we want to increment a value by 1, we just use plus plus. So here we have a variable age is equal to 22. Then we wrote age plus plus semicolon, and that's our entire line. And what the plus plus really means is age is equal to its own value plus 1. So if I click the next year button, instead of alerting me age, which is 22, it's now going to alert me age, which is 22, plus plus, which is actually 23. Now I think I made that sound a lot more difficult than it actually is, so if we want to keep adding 1 to our age variable, we would just keep writing age plus plus. Now all of a sudden age is equal to 24. The reason we didn't write var, which is variable, in front of our first age or our second age is because we are not declaring a new variable. We're simply modifying the existing variable. With decrement, you probably guessed that if plus plus means variable plus 1, then minus minus must mean variable minus 1. So if we went year is equal to 2012, and then executed year minus minus, that is saying the exact same thing as year is equal to 2012 minus 1. So if we alerted ourselves with the current year now, instead of getting 2012, we should get 2011. And that's exactly what we got. So let's put everything we've learned together now. Here's a script that I quickly wrote up, putting together alert, prompt, conjugation, and increment. Here we have variable p is equal to prompt, how old are you right now, with the second parameter being blank. If you insert any sort of text and you hit OK, then this is going to